So tonight, waste and recycling. We've been following the thread with the Greenwise initiative. Just amazing to be here in this region at this time with such an ambitious goal that we're all a part of. 6 county, 22 city area, dedicated to becoming a green leader in the entire country, an entire region working together. So we want to support that effort with everything that we've got. And so this is month 2 in our 5-month series tonight on the topic of waste and recycling, following one of the project areas. And to kick it off tonight here, our speaker with the best nickname tonight, and we were just talking before about how naming something increases its value. And so the value of what we've got here tonight with Green Dean Tormey from Allied Waste, you'll get to experience right now. Help me welcome Dean.
Thank you very much. Thank you all out there. My name's Dean, Green Dean. I came up with that name, it was catchy. And I found that Green Dean could sell things better than Dean. So tonight I want to help you guys go out there to the people you touch and help sell recycling out there. How I got to this spot right here, on this X right here, you don't see it. You see? I was just a little tight growing up in Seattle, Washington. And our thing to do in the summer was to go out Puget Sound and camp at Hood's Canal. And I remember all the kids in the morning would wake up in the morning and we'd go down, be near that water, wait to get on that boat to go out to Puget Sound to dump our garbage. Yeah, from our camping, we take all our garbage, put it on the boat, and then, anybody watch Mad Men? Okay, this is the time period I'm that little kid. You got a guy smoking a cigarette, running this boat, going out there with all the garbage, and all the kids are excited. No fishing, put a rock in the garbage, throw it off. Now, move up a couple years, and I'm in New Jersey, the shore. I live on the shore. Everybody knows where Bruce Springsteen's from, Asbury Park. But I live really close there called Rumson. Really nice place. In the summer, this time of year, we'd be at the ocean, going body surfing, catching the waves. All of a sudden, something would float by. You're looking at the Twin Towers. You're going, what was that? I don't know. And you realize it's sewage coming from New York. So here's 2 experiences I've had with adults. One is throwing garbage into the water. The next is the parents being on the shore and you're out there pushing, stuff away. Not too good. But during the year, I'd be at school, at elementary school, and one time a year, this was really exciting. All the kids would take their coffee cans and go out to the playground and pick up glass. Sounds like fun when you're in 6th grade. Now I'm here. And I realize now I have a chance so my children, their children, and their children won't be in sludge, won't be throwing garbage in the ocean, and won't be picking up glass in a playground. So tonight, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I've tried to figure out why do people recycle. And I came up with these 3 reasons. It's the law that makes you recycle. It's the money you can make or save through recycling. And it's with that kid out here. It's the right thing to do. So we'll start off with the law. Hit again. One more time. Okay. Everybody's familiar with this law, AB 939? My son was born when this started, 23 years ago. So from this law, we now have these ordinances. In my industry, I'm in the trash and recycling business. I work for Allied. We have 213 landfills, but we have 78 recycling centers and growing. So it is getting better, but these rules right here is changing our industry. These ordinances are getting people to recycle in business. We already got people at home recycling. In fact, we should take the model that we're doing at home and apply it to our businesses. But there's a real disconnect here. People are not talking to each other. They get in their own paradigm and they live in there, and it's hard to explain to somebody else. I've talked to some of you tonight about what you guys do. And I'm like, how do I put this in my head? It's really hard. So we have ordinances to kind of help people at least get started. This one says if you do 4 yards of trash, you have to do a recycling in this in these areas, in Sacramento County, city, and these ordinances in here. Now, once you have 4, you have to recycle 1. So you take out the 4, you get 3. Well, you don't have to recycle if you have 3. So you got to take a kid's mentality with this recycling. Make sure that it makes sense to that kid in that water, the kid on the playground. We have to make things easy. If you have 4 rules here, if you play football in one city, you go to another city to play football, and they're playing by a different set of rules, it makes the game very confusing. So we got to have rules, we got to have authority helping us do things right, but we don't want to make it so complicated that no one can play. So we got to simplify as we grow. Expand, retract. You'll see now that we have all these rules. We got to get to a point where we got to simplify things now. All these are good intentions. It's to help us to recycle. But there is going to be a part where we're going to have to go, let's make it simple. If you look at home, you have 3 trash cans, right? You got 1 for trash, 1 for recycling, and 1 for greenways. And then once a year you can throw out your electronics. Very simple. At work, I'll get phone calls, how do I get rid of this? Where does this go? I usually get a call, not I want to recycle, but I think I'm breaking the ordinance here. What do I do? So you always got to remember that the law is there to help you with rules and get you places, but you're going to have to one time simplify. So the second is some money, man. And recycling is like, I can always make money off recycling. We've trained people to think that way, but it's not necessarily true. I had a customer, when I first got in this business, they gave me a piece of plastic. And this piece of plastic was a desired material. And I went, wow, I can get this recycled. So I took this to buyers, and they gave me the price of what this plastic was worth. And it was worth a lot of money. And I was doing something right. So I go to them and I go, okay, it's worth money. And I want to give it to you, but they said, we don't want it. So if you take that kid and you say, yes, it's recyclable, but nobody wants it, that's what's the game you're playing here? Everybody remember Calvin and Hobbes? Remember Calvin Ball? Where you made up the rules and you win? I just got this job, I don't know what to do. I'm supposed to, take care of this problem, but I can't take care of it. So the money, these are people that buy the stuff. These people are really important. You've got to know who's going to buy this stuff. And we need more of these people if you want to sell more of this stuff. So when you're out there talking to people of influence, you want to start hitting these points. That you need people to make rules. And we do need to simplify those rules. We need product that's recyclable, but we need people to buy those recyclable items. The third reason is the right thing to do. Now, if you do the right thing to do, you might not need those other 2, because they'll fall into place. You make a recyclable product. We said to manufacturers, we'll buy your products, or the manufacturers, the marketing department said, look, they're going to buy recyclable items. So we're going to put this number on there, and they're going to buy it. What happened? We bought it, but is it the right thing to do? We end up having the government pay the buyers to take it. Now again, you ask that little kid, is it right that you're paying money to have something recycled? Doesn't sound right. And then we keep doing it. We keep making products that say recyclable, but they're not recyclable. And the reason they're not recyclable, because if I take a whole truckload of styrofoam and drive it to Roseville, and no one wants this stuff, and we can melt it down and we can make picture frames, so we are recycling it, it has a number, but nobody wants it. So it goes into the landfill. So, again, we're not making sense out there. We've got to make sense if we want this thing to really work. So we want to make products recyclable without being subsidized. That's cheating. That's cheating to a kid, So You want to make products that are going to be recycled. And you're going to need places to recycle it. And you're going to know why you're doing it. Are you doing it because it's a rule? Are you doing it for some money? Or are you doing it for it's the right thing to do? So you always hear this, reduce, right? So now if you think about it in rules, what are we reducing? Well, maybe we should reduce that plastic bottle that we're resubsidizing. We got to think of not just reducing the amount of packaging material and packaging. You got to look at the process. We got to reduce and simplify the process. Reduce the number of ordinances and laws. Reducing so we can understand it and communicate it with each other. We got to reuse, right? We already have common sense. Why don't we reuse that? We know it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, don't use it. And then recycle. Everybody knows about recycling. Everybody wants to recycle. But I think about those kids in New Jersey picking up the glass at the shore and all that. And we're missing a big part of this whole thing, and it is renew. We've got to start renewing things, not just recycling, not reducing and reusing. We've got to renew. We've got to renew those playgrounds. We've got to renew the ocean. We've got to renew the air. So, I was here tonight to share you my paradigm. And I want you to take my paradigm and take it with your paradigm. And when you're at the weekend barbecue, share those things with the law, with the money. It's the right thing to do. Thank you very much.